Welcome Torah Anytime viewers and everyone else around the world. Everybody knows that it's good sense to take care of your health, but is it really a mitzvah? And if it is a mitzvah, what are the parameters of that mitzvah? After all, we have lots of mitzvahs to do and lots of things that make sense. And we have limited time, limited energy. How much time and energy should we be spending on worrying about and caring for our health? First of all, in Gemara, Talmud, Shabbos, Pei Beis, Amud Aleph, 82a, it says of Rav Huna. Now, background, who is Rav Huna? Rav Huna was the Rosh Yeshiva in Surah after the death of Rav, the great Amora, who's the first generation, transitional figure from the Tanaim to the Amoraim in the 3rd century CE. So the Rosh Yeshiva after him is Rav Huna, one of the great Rosh Yeshiva of all of history. And his colleague and disciple was Rav Chisda. So the Gemara tells this following story. Amar le Rav Huna le Rabba bare. Rav Huna says to his son Rabba, my time alo shechichakt coming to Rav Chisda. How come you don't spend more time in the presence in the classroom of Rav Chisda? You should spend more time studying with him. Why? His teachings are so good, they're so sharp. Why don't you spend more time in his yeshiva? Amarle, his son, says back to him, what's the point of my going to him? Because when I do go to him, he's talking to me about mundane matters. I go to him for Torah, and I'm hearing non-Torah matters from him. For example, Amarli, he said to me, he gave me advice on how to go to the bathroom. And then he gives some details here, which I'll skip for now. But that's why I should go to Rav Chisda, the great Rav Chisda, so I can learn how to go to the bathroom in a safe way. Listen to Rav Huna's response to his son. Rav Huna says back to him, after his son's appeal to reason, he says, Hu asik de b'chayde briasa v'at amar mila de alma? He's telling you about how to stay healthy and safe, and you're calling that mundane matters? Kol shekain zil gabe. All the more so you should be spending time with him. This is Chazal's, the Talmud's view of health, matters of health and safety, that they are as important, if not more important, than other matters, including what we would consider holy matters, Torah matters. Another passage from the Talmud, Chulin Yud Amud Aleph, page 10a, 3 words, Chamira Sakanta Misura, that avoiding danger is more important than avoiding forbidden things. Listen to what the Gemara is saying. Many people are very careful about keeping kosher. They wouldn't put food in their mouth if they weren't sure that it had a stamp of approval from an authorized rabbi, that it's not milk and meat, that it has no non-kosher ingredients. They would never buy a package of food from the grocery store without that stamp. And the Talmud is saying, Chamir Sikanta Misura, avoiding danger is even more stringent, more important. You would not put food in your mouth without that stamp from the rabbi, but you'd put food in your mouth without the stamp of approval from your doctor. You're not following Chazal, you're not following the Talmud. By the way, I was just in Israel last week, and they have on their food products, the packaged products, a new device, which I think is wonderful. The new Ministry of Health, or Minister of Health, has mandated that packaged foods have either a green stamp or a red stamp. The green stamp means that it meets certain minimum health standards of sugar, below a certain threshold of added sugar and saturated fat, and the red stamp means it does not meet that. So you don't have to study the ingredients anymore. You don't even have to know that much about what are the levels. You're getting a stamp of approval. It has a green stamp. I think it's a wonderful thing because it is hard work to keep track of these things and pay that much of attention, and that's why we rely on hechshers on food, in terms of being kosher or not, so you don't have to go to the factory yourself and study it. Someone else is doing that for you. And same now in Israel, you can do that with a health stamp on it. We don't have that in this country, in the United States yet. Hopefully we will soon. But that's completely consistent with the Gemara. Third source, in Avodah Zorah, Yud Beis Amud Beis, 12b. Very interesting idea brought down, which is related. Tana Rabbanan, the rabbis taught in a Baraisa, this is the Tanaim teaching, Lo yishta adam mayim balayla. A person should not drink, or is not even allowed to drink, water at night. You may not drink water at night. You're in the middle of the night, you're thirsty, don't get a drink of water. Of course, this is in the days when there was no lights at night. So this is what it's referring to. It's referring to where you can't see the water. Why not? Because it's dangerous. Water can contain, back then, it can contain, if you don't have a water supply like we do today, a modern water supply can contain dangerous creatures in it that can crawl in there, that can be in there, and you have to make sure you don't drink them because it can be dangerous. And if he did drink water at night, listen to this. This is the punchline. Damo barosho mipnei sakana. His blood is on his head because of the danger. He is taking his life in his own hands. If he gets sick or dies, it's his own responsibility. We don't say, oh, it's min hashamayim, it's from heaven, it's so sad, he took a risk and he got sick, or he took a risk and died. A person takes an unnecessary risk and gets injured by it, he is held accountable. And this is completely consistent with a teaching also from the Tanaim in Vayikra Rabbah, Midrash Rabbah, Perek Tes Zayin, chapter 16. There's a debate among the rabbis about how much a person's own effort is relevant to his safety and well-being, and the concluding statement there, it says, according to the Rabbanan Amr, this is the conclusion of that passage, Tishim v'teisha b'shia v'chad b'dei shamayim. 99% of illnesses that occur are because of negligence. A person not taking care of their health. Only 1% can be chalked up to its heaven sent, min hashamayim. That's a remarkable statement. That means that most of us, most of the time, when we get sick or injured, if we were really being honest with ourselves, we'd say, we did it to ourselves. I was not being sufficiently careful. That's not me speaking. That's not a modern voice speaking. This is the Talmud. This is the rabbis of the Talmud. This is Chazal speaking. Similarly, it says in Gemara Shabbos, Tractate Shabbat, Kuf Yud Gimel, page 113, Amud Beis, 113b. By many Rebbe asks from Yishmael, the son of Rebbe Yossi, the following question. Following hypothetical question. Ma'alachu Adama b'Shabbos. Is it one allowed to eat earth on Shabbat? Is there some kind of Shabbat prohibition about eating earth, eating dirt? This is what he asked him. Rabbi Yishmael, the son of Rabbi Yossi, answers Rabbi the following answer. V'chi b'cholmi chudra. What are you talking about? Is it allowed on a weekday? It's not even a Shabbat question. I hold, Shani Omer, I say, Av b'chol asur. You're not allowed to eat any day of the week. Mipnei shehu malka, because it harms a person. Now this is interesting. It's not the Gemara, when it wants to say something is going to cause danger to life or limb, uses the term sakanta, a danger. Here he used the word malka. Malka means harmful. Doesn't mean necessarily it's life endangering. But even here he's saying you're not allowed to do something that's going to harm you, even if it's not going to endanger you. I believe, and I suppose that it is based on these sources that we have from Rav Asher Zelig Weiss Shlita the following statement. We see in the Rambam and many different sources, it's a mitzvah gemura, a complete obligation to do whatever you can to steer clear from danger, to save others from danger, and to take proactive measures to prevent danger. And we see in Rav Shimshon Raphael Hirsch, in Horeb, chapter 4, not only may you not rob yourself of your life, you may not even cause the body the slightest injury. You may not ruin your health through carelessness or in any way weaken your health or shorten your life. Only if the body is healthy is it an efficient instrument for the Spirit's activity. Therefore, even the smallest unnecessary deprivation of strength is accountable to God. Every smallest weakening is partial murder. Therefore, you should avoid everything which might possibly impair your health. You should not risk your health except when God Himself demands it. You should not rely upon a protective miracle providence unless the fulfillment of duty makes it necessary to face danger. For providence doesn't protect carelessness and foolhardiness. And the law asks you to be even more circumspect in avoiding danger to life and limb, sakana, than in the avoidance of other transgressions. I believe that Rav Hirsch is referring to what I call the this one time won't hurt me game. You know, this one cigarette won't kill me. This one cookie's not going to make a difference. This one cup of soda won't hurt me. Maybe just one more serving of cholent. Rav Hirsch, who, by the way, citing the Shulchan Aruch, Choshen Mishpat, in your Adeya, is unequivocal. If this one bite will slightly diminish your strength, it should be a bigger concern in your mind than avoiding Lashon Hara or being honest in business or keeping kosher. It should really matter to you. In other words, saying this one bite or this one cigarette won't hurt me is morally equivalent to saying this one bite of ham won't really hurt me either, right? It's true. If one bite of ham's not going to kill you and one cigarette's not going to kill you. But that doesn't mean it's the right thing to do. Now, does this mean we're supposed to be extremist and never enjoy ourselves, never enjoy ice cream or cookies? No, I don't think so. I don't think that's what it means at all. I don't think you have to worry about that. But maybe in the next class, we'll talk about what are the parameters of avoidance? What really is danger? What do you need to know? Both from Chazal, from the rabbis, and from the doctors. In the meantime, be gesund.